State,
Yes, Your Honor.
is there an agreement or no?
There is not an agreement.
All right. Everyone, I'm going to need you to whisper. Court is calling 2022 CR 6778, State of Texas versus Denver Stewart. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense.
For Mr. Stewart.
And are you Denver Stewart? Are you going to need to keep your voice up so the court reporter can hear and so that I can hear?
Yes.
All right, the court is in receipt of a motion to amend conditions of bond. The defense is requesting removal of GPS for purposes of work. State, are you in agreement or no?
We are not in agreement, Your Honor.
All right, are there any witnesses from either side?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, do you have any
No,
witnesses?
Your Honor.
Defense, who are your witnesses?
My witness is going to be Mr. Stewart.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Denver Stewart.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, Your Honor, I'm calling my client for the limited purposes of this hearing. Mr. Stewart, where are you employed?
Victory Police Services out of Midland.
I'm sorry. You gotta speak
Uh,
up, and there's a mic.
Victory Police Services.
And what do you do at Victory Services?
Right now I'm currently in the wash bay washing frac pumps, and it requires me to get soaked and covered in water. My boots get waterlogged. And also I gotta climb up in an engine bay and work and clean, and my ankle monitor has gotten snagged countless times.
Okay, how long have you worked there?
Going on a year now.
Okay, and how old are you?
20.
Okay, so recent graduate of high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is this one of your first quote unquote real employers?
Yes.
Okay, and you said you've been working there for a year, and I'm sorry, what type of work, just generally speaking, what type of work is it?
I'm cleaning frac pumps, which is pressure washing. So I do get soaking.
Okay, and what is the employer looking to advance you in that company?
He wants me to be doing something we call dry ice, which is where I'm climbing inside of radiator and fan boxes and using dry ice to clean out the radiators, and then pressure washing them, which I get a lot of backsplash on me, which will cover my boots and inside of my boots and grease and oil and water, etc.
And to the best of your memory, when were you arrested for this offense? Approximately.
6 months ago.
Okay, and for the past 6 months, have you had the ankle monitor on your ankle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and to the best of your knowledge, have you had any violations with the ankle monitor? And have you reported to court for all of your court appearances as directed?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any contact with the complaining witness in this case?
No, ma'am.
Now, with this change in job, you were talking about how you've had it snagged on machines.
Yes.
Okay, can you please explain a little bit more detail what you have had it snagged on and what you had to do to get yourself out of that situation?
There was an incident about a week ago where I was climbing up onto a frac pump to essentially wash the top of the transmission in the engine bay, and my ankle monitor got caught in between the exhaust tower and a hydraulic line, and I had to have everybody stop what they were doing and somebody to climb up and come help me get removed from the spot that I was in.
And is this a position outside of the ankle monitor problem? Is this a job that you've been doing well at?
Yes, ma'am.
You like this job?
Yes.
You want to be able to continue working there and advancing your career with this profession?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Where is the job site located?
Midland, Texas.
And is that where you live?
That's where I'm staying while I'm working. Yes.
Is your residence in San Antonio or
My home address. Yes.
how long are you in Midland?
Most of the time I work until I have court, so it could be like 4 weeks, could be 2 weeks on, 1 week off.
When do you know your schedule?
My schedule.
Mhm.
I get my schedule from my employer and then I report it to my BO.
But when do you learn your schedule? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly?
excuse me, let me ask you this. If you were required to work today, for example, when would you know that you were required to work today? When do they give you notice of that?
Right away.
Okay. Do you have any advanced knowledge of what your work schedule will be?
I mean, it's supposed to be 2 weeks on, 1 week off, but court does interfere with that, but my employer is really lenient with
No.
letting me go.
Here's the thing. This is what she's trying to understand. She's trying to understand when your schedule is and when do you know when your schedule is. For example, some people, when they work at a job, on your last day, Friday, if that's your last day that you work, your supervisor will put on a board showing you what your schedule is for the next week. Or either they will put on the board, you're off this week and this is the week you work. Do you understand? You know that?
I know my schedule because it's supposed to be a 2 week on, 1 week off.
But how, if you had to work, let's say, April 6th, when will you know that you have to be at work on April 6th?
They'll let me know right away that they're gonna need me that day.
Okay, I don't know.
Um,
Do you understand what I'm asking?
I do, Your Honor, but I think what his response is it's almost like he gets called right away and he goes into work.
So they don't give you any advance notice? Because I know that I have to be here like every week, Monday through Friday. So you don't have that type of advance notice? For example, I understand if there's an emergency and somebody's calling you saying we need somebody on Thursday, but they don't give him any advance notice?
I think
No,
it's,
ma'am.
he's working all the time unless he gets off to
Yes,
be able to
yes.
come down here for court. And the court, back in December, when Mr. Navy was representing him, I filled in on that day and the court granted him the permit to be able to go up there and live up there. And he just returns back to San Antonio when he's needed for court.
All right, state, does that help you or no?
I guess if his permanent residence is here, he's working in Midland, has he moved to Midland? Like, when does he come to San Antonio?
I only come to San Antonio when I have court.
Okay,
And
but
his
you're,
parents live here, so that's why his permanent residence is here.
okay, how old are you?
20,
Okay. And when did you start working in Midland?
about a year ago.
And so in that year, how often have you been in San Antonio?
Not very often. I mean, I used to be on a 2 week on, 1 week off shift, and then I was working even longer. Sometimes I was working 5 weeks at a time, 1 week home. And then as soon as court started, I was out there as long as I possibly could. I was out there getting as many days and weeks as I could, and then I would only come home when it was court time.
About 4 or 5 times.
I'll pass this.
I don't have any other questions, just arguments, Your Honor.
All right, state, are you still any objection to knowing that he's in Midland? Do you still have any objection to the removal of GPS for work reasons?
Your Honor, as long as he lets pretrial services know when he's going to be in San Antonio ahead of time,
Yes, ma'am.
then I'm okay with him working in Midland.
All right, are you okay with the removal of the GPS? Because I mean, the court has already approved for him to work in Midland.
Yeah.
So I always like to get to the crux of the problem. Here's the crux of the problem. I'm assuming you don't want him contacting the complainant.
Correct.
I haven't received any violation reports of him contacting the complainant. So I don't know anything about this case. So what is the alleged age of the complainant at the time of this offense, allegedly?
Believe either 17, but maybe even 18. She was a high school student, senior when she reported it, but it was later determined on the EA's office investigation that she is an adult when the offense allegedly happened.
Your Honor, I don't have an objection to the removal as long as he keeps pretrial services aware, and if for some reason he does come back to San Antonio to work here, we need to revisit the issue.
All right, so every time when you are going to come to San Antonio, make sure you call your pretrial services officer and tell them you're going to be in San Antonio.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're still not to have contact with the complainant. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you change your employment, you need to let pretrial services know. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about my instruction? Are we going to have any issues?
Oh, yeah.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, your next court date is May 15th, and I think there is some CPS records issues, so,
Yes, and while I'm here, I'll speak with Ms. Mitchell about it.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
I think it's in.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to ask that you not exit that door. Attorneys, do not exit that door because there's some issues that are happening outside the door. Nothing that is of a threatening nature to us, but there's medical personnel outside that door. So attorneys, if you need to exit, I'm going to ask that you exit this door. Everyone else, you're just going to have to enjoy your time more in the 187th.
Go ahead.
No.
No, no.
Slow process.
Who's here on Julian Juarez? Julian Juarez? Jennifer Portillo?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
She is not present, Judge. I have no contact with her. She's
All right,
on-
we're going to put this on the record just a moment. Court is calling 2020 CR 10190, State of Texas. Well, before I call this, counsel, because there's issue going outside the door and they're probably not letting anyone in, can you walk around and see if your client is
Of course,
there?
Judge.
All right, and then come back and I'll take it up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
in the courtroom.